Hi, so a couple of people asked about OS X on Omarchy. So I had a look at this, and there's a couple of really cool projects on Git, which is like, hang on, was it called OKKVM or something? There's two of them, and they're really good. They've got most of the way to do it, so you can install OS X variants on Linux. So I thought was I'd club together some kind of installer process and manager that you can use to do it. I mean, it's not fully developed yet. It's in the link below. It's not a members only one. It's because I haven't quite finished it, so you can have a play with it. There's bits of it I've got to finish off. I built them in, but I haven't quite got them working, so you can see where it's going. So yeah, so what it does, you install it, and then it pulls down bits of the other projects, and then you launch it, and then you can install OS X on your machine, different variants of it. Basically, it's running a VM, but it uses OpenCore, which I have fond memories of because I used to have an old Mac 5.1, which we used to use OpenCore on to get it to use later operating systems. So yeah, now there is a weird caveat with OS X. You're not supposed to install it on non-Macs, I think. I don't know if that's true or not, but I mean, I was actually going to do the whole demonstration and install OS X, an unsupported OS X, on a mini Mac that with a VM on Omarchy, but I just thought I can't be bothered. Anyway, I've just done this on my normal machine. I'll take you through a couple of the variations and how the manager bit works, and then you can see it get on. I've got work to do on it, but you can have it now and have a play, and if you can fix bits I've broken already, feel free. So with that said, let's dive in. Okay, so here we are on the desktop. It's Blue Arc, and I've opened up the downloads folder where you put the script, and there's the script, and we put it over onto, I'll just split that around, put it over into terminal and chmod plus X to give it permissions to run, and then we'll run it. Here we go, and it should install a load of stuff. Password QUEM, I can never pronounce it. This is what it's basically installing, and I'll pull all this down. It may install a few other modules when you do the first run because there's other bits I've added in. I haven't quite tested, as I said, I haven't quite tested everything yet. We're going to have a play with it, and I'll sort of get around to doing it as we go through it. So what's that pulling down now? Does not know. So yeah, so once there's a few permissions that are added when you do this, so it basically has to reboot. Don't exit now, continue anyway. So do continue anyway, do 2, otherwise you have to rerun the script, so make sure you pick 2 here. So I've stopped. Yeah, 2, and this adds some extra elements that you may need later on that sort of are in it, but I haven't quite activated everything yet. But I thought I'd get this out, people to play with. I mean, see if it's worth, so you now have to reboot. At the bottom there's a logout message. I mean, some of the bits like the file sharing, Samba, the artificial generation of the BIOS code, I think, USB pass-through, I think that I've got that working. Not sure, but there's some extra bits I'm just sort of fiddling with, which I'll get to. So here we go, we're going to boot back in. And now this runs from TUI. And the TUI command is Super Control A. No, Super Alt A. Super Alt A. Yeah, hang on. Let me check my keyboard. Super Alt A. It's Super Alt A. Here we go. No signal, bit of branding. Back in. So it's Super Alt A, he says. Just waiting there. So I'm doing this from play behavior. So it brings up the TUI. So now you can create a new VM. And exit. And so what it'll do, it'll ask you for which OS you want to install. I think I've mentioned this already. Some of them don't. Catalina is a bit tricky. Mojave, I'm going to do Mojave now. That works, and it says, and Sonoma works, but there's a few tweaks with Sonoma you have to do. Give it a name, because you'll see where you see these later on, and then it'll do some, pull down the base DNG. Now this is all talking to Apple servers, and this is the bit that's pulled from the KVM thing from the GitHub. So there's that script, but I've just condensed it into this and partition it. Just generates a thing. Right, so give it some RAM. I've got some nominal values in there. Then cores, and then hard drive space. And do you want to add a shared folder? Now, I have put Samba all install now. I don't know if I've got this, I haven't quite got this working yet, but it'll do it. I'm nearly there with it. Create a shared folder, my name, password for Samba, because what you should do, you should be able to go into OS X. I don't know if it's to do with the file formatting. You should be able to go into OS X, go to like you normally do with a Mac, point it at the SMB, and then go through. And then what else is there I missed? Oh yeah, so you've got USB pass-through, and also there's a bit where it can create in, because what I don't know, well, I haven't got this far yet, but iMessaging and logging into actual Mac services, I do remember being told that Apple, the iCloud can freak out a little bit if you're not on a proper Mac when you do it. So I think this is to go around it, but I haven't got that bit working. So that's next on my list of things to work through on this. But I added it in from that script, so it all went into the installer, so I can go back and I can have a play. So now, if you launch App Launcher, which is Super Space, it says, I'll get there. Super Space, you'll see Mac Mojave, and then this will launch the installer. So it comes up, asks for your password, and then it's Quem, I can't remember. I'll flip these over so that basically the ones on the other side, there we go. And then you go into the base, just like being back on a Mac, base map install. Now, I think this is something to do with OpenCore. I haven't mentioned this. I used to use OpenCore on my Mac 5.1, and yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like a hack to allow you to launch operating systems that aren't on there, can't work on your system. So this is quite clever. So then this will install, and we'll get to a bit, give it a second. The actual installations take about 25 to 30 minutes. I'm going to speed this up. It takes quite a while because it's like doing if you've ever done it on a Mac, an internet recovery, where you log in and you pull it back down from the cloud, and it's just painfully slow. So you do this, what I'm about to talk about, you do this on each install. You basically boot back up into the recovery screen, and it'll be the Mojave one. I did Mojave first because it's quicker. Hang on, we'll get there. But it's good. You can see on the right hand side here, all the instructions on the terminal window are there. So it tells you exactly what to do. So there we go. So go to Disk Utility, continue. Again, this is based off the Git project. It's brilliant. And then go into that's it. You want the big drive. I did 128, and so you want to format it. Even though this has come up with macOS extended, you do it APFS even. Do that. Format the drive. And again, this is all up on the top here. If you look on the right, select Quem hard drive, erase, name it Macintosh, format it, close the installation program, which I'm doing, and then you can reinstall macOS. So then you launch into a standard Mojave installation. And there you see it says macOS, go to connect server, enter the SMB, and then that shared thing. I think I haven't got that. I haven't quite figured out how to get that. I keep getting loads of, when I'm debugging it, it's just not working. So stretch goal, we'll do that working. So now it will install it. This will take a while. So hopefully I speed it all up, because this just takes ages. Do I speed it up? Hope to God I did, because this will be, oh, it's going quite, is it going quickly because I've sped it up? Yeah, that's it. That's the screen. So it's been sped up quite dramatically. But obviously, as you know anything from Mac installers, yeah, see my screensaver cutting, I've sped the whole thing up. It jumps into this. It does a load of jumping around. It's for Mac installers, they lie. So it says 30 minutes, but it's an hour. So I mean, so a minute thing's irrelevant. Just let it do its thing. You need quite a quick internet connection to do this. There it goes. And then it will reboot a couple of times. It does on Sonoma, and then you're into that bit, and you're in. You're on a Mac. There you go. Sped it all up. And now this is the bit I tried, and it doesn't work. Yeah. Anyway, so that's done. And what did this one? Has this jumped forward? I did Sonoma as well. Don't transfer information. Skip. So I don't know, I may have jumped something nasty here in the video. So this one is Sonoma. Is this Sonoma? It's the same process. You just do as many as you like and they'll appear in the app manager as a new one. What's this one? Espresso. This is Sonoma. I'm sure this is Sonoma. Yeah, it is. Yeah. No? Oh no, sorry, that was the whole Sonoma Mojave. Losing the plot here. Yeah, so sorry, I sped it all up so quickly. You have to go through the whole login. I'm losing my mind because I do Sonoma next. So that's it, quit survive. But I did do a bit. I tried to log in and it wouldn't work. So that's Mojave talking out the top of my head. Yeah, and you can use it. It's because it's 14 gig and 8 cores. It's not going to be like Grease Lightning. And then shut down. Yeah. So now, sorry, that video speed up really threw me. So now that will shut down, and then we should go into installing another VM. So you can have as many as you like. You can have like literally every single operating, if you've got the hard drive space, every single operating system on here. Hopefully by speeding up the footage. Here we go. So view D10, view details. So that shows me the current VM, and then I can create another one. I can delete it as well because you can manage them. So in there, and I'm going to pick Sonoma 7. See, I've edited this bit together and then I'm recording it over the top. I've forgotten partly what I did here, so just bear with that. So 7. Yeah. And then agreed that's the right one. Enter the name. It's obviously best to name it the name of the VM. And then it does the whole base installation part again. Yeah, I've got some bits to do with this. That's why I'm pushing it out for everybody to ever play with it. I mean, you know, if you can fix the other bits in it, I mean, I'll get you, but as like I said at the end of the video, I don't know if I'll get you to use this. I mean, I've got a Mac sat right there, but will be on eBay one day, but I don't need to do this personally, but just doing it because someone asked, and I thought here's a good start for you. There are some, you know, as I said, there's 2 projects on GitHub, on Git, that you could pull down and do this, but I just thought I'd sort of put it into a TUI, make it a bit easier for people, you know, get a bit of a head start with it all. Okay, there we go. Again, give it the RAM. I mean, I've got 32 gig on this. So, but just do the same each time for mine. 8. Now, obviously, this is where I need to work this out because some of the OS X's are used to different processors. They're expected to see different things. So this hack bit here, the bit where it's the SymBIOS, the BIOS generation, we used to do it on Hackintoshes. So I need to get that implemented as well. That bit there. So it pretends to be a Mac. It's like sort of identifies the system that it is a Mac. So you'll see some errors. So super space to launch the, here we go, and then you should see Sonoma now on there. So launch that and we'll go through the entire install process for this one. There we go. Yeah, there's some errors. That doesn't support XYZ. I need to investigate this. But I mean, if you want to have a play with this, just it's there. You know, you work it out. Yeah, there's some errors. I'm reminding myself I've got errors. And hopefully I've sped this one up as well because this takes even longer. So over the moment I'm not trying Tahoe. So if anybody wants to give that a go, see if it works. And one big thing about this, and I'll do this later on the earlier Mac OS implementations, you've just got a flat background, like a wallpaper. On the newer ones, like this one here, which is on Tahoe, you've got these living wallpapers. It doesn't like it. So you'll have to go in. You'll see I go in and switch the background. So same deal. Flatten the thing. This one's automatically, because it's a later operating system, it's defaulted to APFS because Mojave was in that transitional bit. Okay, get rid of that. Let's see what bit I did. So I did the speed up and then reinstall macOS Sonoma. So I think I said this. I'm not sure if I said this already. Some of them don't work. Some of the installs don't actually work. I don't know why they were failing. So yeah, but easy to do this now, isn't it? It's like super simple, and you could just get in. Oh, hang on a minute, that was a really good fast forward. That's probably 25 minutes cut out there. So let's choose somewhere weird. Where can I be? Where can I be this strange and interesting place? Like a travel. There we are, Vatican City. Let's go there. Okay, so have you ever done a Mac install before? You've seen this. You know, not now, transfer stuff, hand over your data to Mac, not now, not now, skip. And they've moved the skip around button. It was at the top. Skip. Agree to your terms and conditions. Sort of. Name. And they won't let you do the one. For me, like I do stupid passwords on test machines. But it won't let you do them. You have to look at Fallout one, proper security. So here we go. Give it a minute. Sort itself out. Yep. But as I said, I haven't logged into a real Apple account with this. Haven't done anything with it. So have a look at that, because some people have said that there's issues with it and all sorts of things. You can get your account like locked or something. I don't know, but just be careful. I mean, it's great, I suppose, if you're just doing a bit of development on it and you want to have a look. Cupertino. Or there's something an app that you desperately need, not Photoshop, an app you desperately need to use. There's a better version of this, actually, that does have GPU pass-through. But obviously that gets tricky, because I think, obviously, after Tahoe, this won't work, because the next generation, I think the next OS drops Intel support. So I don't know if you can emulate Mac Silicon. So here we go. Look, the background's white. You need to pull in an old flat background. Yeah, it's living wallpapers a little bit, but yeah. So when we get to beyond Tahoe, when they drop Intel support, this is going to be problematic, isn't it? And one big thing I'd say, you need to have, is it hyper virtualization, hyper threading, or whatever? It's in your BIOS that allows you to virtualize on your machine. There's a setting you need to set up. Sometimes you have to switch it on. Is that going to go all the way around again? So yeah, okay. So let's just go back to me. Okay, so there you go. OS X on Omarchy. Have a ball. Do what you want. I've spent years trying to get off OS X, basically onto Linux. But you know, if you want to have it there, so I have a Windows dual boot now or whatever, you can have a play with it. Yeah, I mean, I may develop that a bit further if people cry out for it. I mean, if you join the members thing, and it's not that much money, it does help me allocate a bit more time to do these projects and stuff like that if you want to use them. I mean, so I don't know what I'll do with that. I mean, I'm never going to use that OS X thing. That's just not I don't need it. So, I mean, if you really want me to sort of push forward, just let me know. Join as a member and give me a shout. I mean, if you're going to say it doesn't work in the comments below now, I can't help you. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'll have a look at it when I get some time. But it may not work properly. I did notice as well, some of the ISOs, because it's pulling off of an Apple server, some of this stuff, it doesn't quite work. Like one of them I couldn't get to work at all. I know Mojave, as I just shown you, Mojave works, Sonoma works. There was one on there that I could, was it Catalina? Whatever. But anyway, you'll find out as you ever play. But I mean, that's the kind of thing. So like, subscribe, whatever, join them, give them membership. That's really helpful. That's really helpful for me to be able to get time to do these scripts. And yeah, so if you want to live in the past, you can play with OS X. If you want to live in the future, delete the VM and stick with Linux. That said, thanks for watching.